Hello, I'm Dawn Black, and this is Kitchen Witch Corner, magical hearthkeeping and spiritual homesteading for the crafty kitchen witch. You can find my personal blog at sacredhearth.com and connect with me at the Kitchen Witch Corner Facebook group. Today, I'm going to talk about kitchen witchery as a spirituality and a lifestyle. Often, when we talk about kitchen witchery, we're talking about consumable magic, potions, herbs, teas, things like that. And sometimes we're just talking about just being an amazing cook or coming up with something amazing in the kitchen without putting magic behind it. And kitchen witchery does encompass both of those things, both sort of a mundane cooking artistry and herbalism. But not every kitchen witch is an amazing cook, and not every kitchen witch is an artist, is a herbalist. Kitchen witchery is much broader than that. It involves cooking meals that enhance the energetic atmosphere you wish to create, whether to bring in joy or love or cooperation. Kitchen witches, we do choose ingredients to foster our desired goals and prepare these meals with intention. Sometimes we use techniques and presentation styles to foster these intentions as well. But again, not everybody is an elaborate cook. Sometimes we're just adding a few magical touches here and there on something that is what we called Insta-meal. What I call in my house Insta-meal. And those are basically things that you just have to heat and eat. And there is a place for that in many homes. And I think we have kitchen witches on all ends of the spectrum. I myself love to cook from scratch, but I also, throw together stuff once in a while from a bag or a box. I do not cook from scratch every day, and not all of my magic involves cooking from scratch. But food, wherever it comes from and however it is prepared, is magical. Even if you aren't a witch, you can't deny the magic of food. You're basically taking life from something else and putting it into yourself, which is, well, frankly, it's a little bit creepy, but it's also fascinating. And if you're thinking, well, this is only true if you're not a vegetarian, I must beg to differ. Plants are also alive, and seeds, which includes nuts and grains. So, bread is made of grains. Rice, quinoa. Everything you need to make a new baby plant is contained within that. So that is like the purest essence of life that you're putting in your body to make your life. But to take it even further, whatever you ate, whether it is a plant or an animal, got its energy from consuming something else. It had to, or it would never have grown. You have to take life out of something else to grow. Plants, they eat stuff too. Other living things. Most of them are dead before they get to them, but most of the stuff we eat is dead too. So then there's also like mycorrhizal fungi to consider and bacteria, but we'll get into that maybe another day if you're into going that far with it. But I think all of the things I'm sorry. But, when you think about all of the things, eating the other things before it gets to you, this is a connection that we have with everything, an energetic connection just from eating. And we have all these raw materials, these ingredients, this food stuff that was alive, that is connected to basically everything that ever was alive through eating and drinking and respirating and excreting waste. And then we do more stuff to it, turn it into something else. Sometimes something that doesn't even look or taste anything like the original. Like, think about bread or cake or sauce. Like the original stuff that went into that doesn't resemble the finished product in any way. And then it's like a conjuring trick. It's like prestidigitation. Some of these things aren't even edible until you do things to it. Soak it, cut it just right, heat it up, mix it with other stuff. It wasn't food, now it's food. And that is like pure alchemy. I mean, it's magic. It's so amazing. It's transformation and connection. Food is, of course, a basic need. And I want to also, make clear when I'm talking about food, I'm also talking about things you drink, like juice and tea and milk and coffee, anything you drink. I'm also considering food. But this is a basic need. It keeps our bodies functional. And it can be a great source of joy and pleasure, and for some, a great source of anxiety and stress. There's a lot of things in this world that people take pleasure in or stress over. Things like money and race and beauty that like are intangible, that aren't even like, in some cases, aren't even real things. They're only real in the effect that they have on the world. But food is as real as you get. Food is like concrete. It is, you can hold it in your hand, you put it in your mouth, you put it in your body. It's real. And it is a huge source of both joy and stress for many people. Food insecurity is a huge problem throughout the world. And it has been since before humans were humans. If you don't have enough food, growth, learning, and creativity is impaired. You can't innovate. Your body doesn't work properly. Your hormones go all out of whack. Your emotions don't work right. Your relationships suffer. You can't reach your potential physically, intellectually, spiritually, or socially. I mean, the fact that, anybody thinks it's okay for people to go without food is it's a condemnation of our whole culture. But on the other hand, too much food or the wrong kind of food can also mess with you. And there's a conflict between that, like how much is too much, what's right, what's wrong. We get so many messages, and that in itself creates so much anxiety for some people, and it can manifest in real disease, just the anxiety itself. Our society, our food choices are colored by marketing, limited by cost and availability, by location. Processed foods are the most accessible because you can ship them anywhere. They've got long shelf life. They've been manufactured to be as low cost to the manufacturer as possible, and thus to the end buyer as possible, the consumer. And so they tend to be the most accessible to those with limited means in the way of money and cooking skills, and like the kind of kitchen, like the kitchen appliances you have. And some people don't even have a kitchen. Some people don't even have a house to put a kitchen in. And that brings us to the other part of kitchen witchery, and that is the kitchen, the actual functional space in which we practice our craft. The kitchen and the building it's in, the home, is also sacred, important. The home is the most sacred space, and we can say that the kitchen is the altar and the center of the home, the hearth, the heart of the sacred temple. And the home is more sacred than any temple will ever be. It provides you with the basic needs that are even more important than food. You can go a couple weeks without food. How long can you last in the cold, in the elements? Your home provides you with shelter, comfort, security, a place to keep your most precious things and gather your people around you and your animals as well. This is where your day starts. It is like the foundation of every day, the beginning, the bouncing off point of everything you do each day. It's also where you go to rest at night. It's the place where your family is made. Your children receive their most basic education, your most important bonds. Relationships are formed. It's true that many homes are not sanctums. They're places of fear, neglect, and control. But where is your safe place if it isn't the home? Where do you go when you don't have a safe space? That is a terrible question. In the kitchen witch, well, for me, everybody's really different. But one of my primary goals as a kitchen witch is to create a safe place, a welcoming place. I'm not a good housekeeper, confession. My home is rarely tidy and clean, but I do try to push back that, oh my gosh, they're all going to know I'm a slob anxiety, to make anyone, guests and family feel like this is a safe place for them. Some people don't even have homes. If you don't have a home, you don't have a kitchen. You don't have any place to make your food. You have nowhere to gather. I've been homeless. I've known other people who've spent time homeless. And when you don't have a kitchen, you have to eat whatever pre-made stuff you can get. It's all about the Pop-Tarts and granola bars and stuff from restaurants sometimes if you've got a little extra money, but that's so expensive. It's more expensive than cooking something. I mean, you can't even have a bowl of cereal because where are you going to keep the milk? And you don't have a bowl and a spoon. It's got to be something a counter to sit at, a table. It's just whatever you can eat right out of the package without heating it up. And that can be blessed. It can be a blessing. But I feel like it takes a lot more. And it's not as nourishing as, something you can sit around the table with people that you care about, and have a conversation over. Food is important. My point about the house, and it doesn't have to be a big house. Apartments, trailers, tiny houses, lofts, flats, studios, they all count. My point about the house is that the whole house is important in kitchen witchery, all of it. And I know many people differentiate kitchen witchery from hearth and home witchery or cottage witchery. And if that's you, I get it. I am my where I come from with this is my kitchen witchery has led me to basically be so obsessed with food and creating good food that I have created an entire lifestyle, a homesteading lifestyle around obtaining the best ingredients, both from a taste and a nutritional standpoint and energetic spirituality standpoint. I have this little homestead, this little 1 acre farm where I grow vegetables, fruit, eggs, and meat. I believe that all of my magical ingredients are going to be more powerful if I grow them and create them myself. Gardening is a real passion of mine. I also want to make sure that everything I eat was raised responsibly, with compassion, in a way that is kind to the earth, that's not contributing to poisoning the environment, that isn't contributing to greenhouse gases or pollutant runoffs into our waterways. I want to make sure everything I eat was raised responsibly with compassion. I raise my own eggs and meat. I do have to get dairy elsewhere. We live on 1 acre. We don't have room for a cow or goats. But I am able to get some locally, dairy products locally, which is important to me. I do not expect every kitchen witch to be able to do this. I'm just explaining why I associate homesteading with kitchen witchery because, again, for me, it goes down to the source. So it's an important part of my personal practice. You are going to create your practice, your kitchen witch spirituality and lifestyle, by identifying, your sacred things in your own way. You may be a vegan kitchen witch. You may be a busy kitchen witch who doesn't have time to cook everything from scratch, but maybe integrates a few magical touches. You may be a kitchen witch who specializes in desserts and sweet treats. You may use magical techniques to keep a visually stunning home flowing with positive energy. Or you may make medicines or cosmetics. Maybe you do needlework or other crafts to bring warmth to your home or to share with others. What I'm saying is kitchen witchery is broad. It has to do with food, yes, but it has to do with everything related to food. The room it's made in, the house the room is in, all the tools and utensils that go into making that food, and the home, keeping the home up, keeping it safe and clean and a worthy sanctum for this work that you do. And it's about your people, the people that you're sharing this food with, that you're sharing your hearth with, your family, your friends, your beloved dead, your ancestors, and your animal companions. Kitchen witchery touches everything because the kitchen is the hearth, and the hearth is the center of everything. And we may need in the near future to do a episode on hearth lore. There's a lot of it, and I will be doing that pretty soon. So, but that's what I have to say about kitchen witchery as a spirituality and a lifestyle. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll join me again soon. And please, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, you can check out my blog at sacredhearth.com. Look for me on Facebook at the Kitchen Witch Corner Facebook group, or Dawn Black at Twitter.